Hey y'all, welcome back to Miniature Game Montage. Today we're going to talk about one-page rules, how we are getting a bit more re-engaged with it, and what that means for some battle reports coming up on the channel very soon. Alright, it's great to have you with us. My name is Jimmy, and One Page Rules has been around for over 10 years now, and what had originally started as a spin-off of 40K in Fantasy, I believe it was called One Page 40K and One Page Fantasy, has now morphed into something that is really starting to stand on its own 2 feet. Now, I will get this out of the way that I have not been offered any kind of monetary anything, no miniatures, no promotion whatsoever. We have been printing and painting some OPR miniatures for probably the last month or so. And I'm going to talk about a few things today. One, why I like OPR, and then two, kind of why we tailed off with it and how we're going to get back engaged with it again. Now, I like OPR for a few things, and first and foremost, it's a miniature agnostic game. You can play with whatever miniatures you want. And I know that that goes for all games, but I have a very difficult time sometimes buying a miniature for one game and using it for another. I don't know why. But being miniature agnostic allows for people to have more accessibility to play the game. It provides a lower barrier to entry, and ultimately I feel gets more people into the hobby. Another reason that I like One Page Rules is because they have a robust army builder. There's a gentleman that is very active in the Discord that has created this army builder platform. It is very robust, it is very easy to use, and it prints out all your data cards when you're done. It is absolutely fantastic. I'll put a link for One Page Rules' website, again, not sponsored or anything, down in the description in case you do want to check that out. And the third reason is that it's very affordable. These miniatures, you can use paper miniatures that they have that you can use for free. If you're just wanting to get into war games to try something out, they make it a very affordable starting point. The next thing is the free rules that goes with the affordability, but you don't have to buy anything to try the game out and get the rules. The rules are free, you can download those at any point in time, and you can start playing war games today. Lastly, and not least, there's a big community feel around the game. It seems like that a lot of feedback from the community is really taken seriously, and a lot of the input goes into making the game what it is. So all of those things are some reasons that I like OPR, and why we stopped playing it, which I touched on a little bit earlier, is because I didn't want to proxy miniatures to feature battle reports on the channel. I wanted OPR to kind of be on its own, but not having a 3D printer really kind of, I guess, killed it for me, because that's ultimately what I wanted to do, is to get official OPR miniatures on the table. So why is OPR getting another look? Well, for me, I now have a 3D printer and everything is going to be accessible, but I also went in and purchased during the My Mini Factory summer sale. I think that the armies were around 50% off, so I went in and bought the Robot Legion and the Saurian Star Host. Those are the two factions that I wanted to give a try, and coincidentally, it lined up with Broken Truth that is now coming out, and I believe that's going to be on GameFound. I'll look for it, and if I can find it, I'll put a link down for that below as well. But the model quality that I got from my prints was really good, and I did a Hallett X1 printer review, and I pretty much did all my OPR models with that Hallett X1, and they came out very nice. And then I was able to slap some paint on them, and I am ready to go. So I've got the Robot Legions completely painted up, almost a 2,000 point list, and now I'm working on the Saurian Star Host, and I would say that I'm a little more than halfway done with getting all of them painted up as well. And I'll tell you, in looking at the models, I think that they're absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to play a game of Grimdark Future and maybe even introduce some Grimdark Firefight, as that has been requested a lot in the comments as well. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Broken Truth, that is a 2-player starter set that is on GameFound, and OPR will be releasing their first starter box. I think it's their first that's going to have fully plastic miniatures in a box, and it's going to have the tokens, the rules, and everything that you need to play OPR. I think that's absolutely fantastic. To see what they have been, or what they started as in 2014, flash forward to 2025, and to see what they are now offering their first starter box, I think that's absolutely incredible. If you do some searches on YouTube, I think you'll find some other creators that already have that box in hand, and they can give you a first look on what that looks like. So here's some things that we have currently painted up. I've got a Robot Lord, I do have Warriors, I have Guardians and Eternals. I really have no idea what any of this stuff does. I'm just going through and making a list with the miniatures that I could. I've got Robot Snakes, I also have some hover bikes painted up, and as well as like this really cool little spider walker that's like a bigger model. And over for the Saurian Star Host, I've got a lot of the same. So I've got a Lord kind of in there, some Warriors, I've got some Raptor Riders, which look absolutely incredible. And then I've also got one of their bigger models as well. So soon enough, we are going to have a proper game of Grimdark Future on the channel, and using these models, we will also be able to have a game of Grimdark Firefight. So these are all some things that you can look forward to on the channel in the future. I may get into the fantasy aspect as well as we continue to invest a little more in the line. I'm really liking the looks of the mummified undead. And I think over time you're really going to start to see OPR just continue to flesh out more of these factions. I think you'll continue to see them come out with new miniatures that you can either print or purchase, and I think it's a really cool thing that they're doing. They are making wargaming really affordable and really accessible for everyone. So what are your thoughts on one-page rules? Have you played before? Are you maybe looking to get into wargames, never played anything, and are maybe considering one-page rules as your first wargame? I'd love to know your thoughts down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Supporters Club, your names are on the screen now. That is by no means necessary. If you've watched the video this far, you've done more than enough to support the channel, so thank you so much. We will see you in the next one. Take care.